Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and those who know better. This is the 2025 Elite League Group Stage Reveal. First up, we have our songs that we shall reveal. But first, we'd like to thank everyone involved for putting this season together so far. It's been a challenge. All right, there have been strives, there have been struggles, but ultimately, as a community, as we always do, we end up coming out the other side just fine. And I think that's going to be the message of hope, right? That's going to be we're gonna we're gonna get through this season. Some of you may die, and that is a risk we are willing to take.
As is
Um,
tradition for the Elite League.
yes, and after we reveal the set list here, we're going to go straight into showing the stage with a never before seen live group stage reveal. So previously, we would just drop the groups all at once. This time around, we are doing a live group draw. We
It's a
don't know the
draw.
groups. We don't know the groups. We only know who could possibly go in what groups. That's
Yeah,
that's the only thing we know right now.
this is going to be wild. Especially as someone who hasn't been able to help organize the stage of the tournament this time as I'm participating. Just seeing the amount of people we've had on deck just for song committee alone. I mean, if I may, random, I have the list of names here that have all picked songs. I mean, we have three up. We have Brad. We have you, Random Days. We have Chroma or Chromatical. We have Miss Lady. We have Jaderan TV, Orange Hat, Nados, our CSC Open winner, who did not participate in this year's Elite League, but rather stepped up as a song picker. And we have Lilith. This is going to be insane. The amount of talent behind this is crazy to me.
Yeah, and with all these new people in terms of song selection, we have what I will call by far the most creative set list we've ever dropped. Like, this is pretty wild. I would say really only invitationals get weirder than this, and that's because they're meant to be like flashy and cool looking, and that's kind of what we've been striving for with this Elite League. Like going into it, like we want to make this like the premier, show, right? Like this is all the community members coming together saying like these are our best players. They qualified through open, they were good enough to get invited, and they were, you know we're going to figure out who's the cream of the crop here, and we want it to look good too. We don't just want people, to just, kind of get here, kind of not enjoy it. No, we want this to be exciting.
Absolutely. Also,
um
hi, mom.
hello
Sorry.
hello Amamic. Everyone
Yes.
wave.
Yes, everyone wave.
um
Hmm.
So before we get into the song list reveal, I do believe Chrome, our broadcaster, has some administrative stuff to go over.
Yes, just very quickly, I want to thank the people who have resubscribed since the beginning of the stream. We've got Jeff, we've got Sanic Studios, we've got Natalia Rack, JD Smitty, and Stickheads. And those first couple of subs actually launched a hype train. So thank you very
Wow.
much for all of the support. We really, really appreciate the community showing up every season, especially with this being our first Elite League in quite a while. I'm very, very glad that the community is just as excited as we are.
Yeah, this is the first Elite League in what, 2 years? Is this 2 years now?
Yeah, something like that.
Almost three.
Almost three. So, thank you all for resubbing. Thank you all for showing up. I see Sandix, Dickheads, Firebird, Brad, Skull Joke, Demand, Wings of Speed. Everyone's showing up. It's really heartwarming to see. It keeps us going. So, thank you. Okay. Well,
Yes,
All right.
and because it's Elite League, sorry, last thing. but you may notice that each of the different stages have had their own different color. So open groups was blue, invitational was green, open playoffs was purple, which has sort of been the staple of all of the tournaments. So now that we're getting into the Elite League, we're getting into the new colors. And so Elite League group stage's color is orange.
Which means that also means the server icon's going to change soon.
Yep.
Yeah, pretty much as soon as this stream is done, I will get on that.
It's going to be a banner day. It is orange to indicate a warning of danger. We're already in the danger.
Things are heating
It's
up.
only going to go up from here. Things are heating up.
So these picks. The first thing I'll note, I think there is a quite wide variety since, Clone Hero skill has such a wide variety of ways like it can show itself. There's the players who can hit these like really hard, solo-y sections, these players that have like crazy strum endurance, these players who have like crazy consistency and can just FC albums for hours on end, right? I think to assume that you can capture all that in a single set list, little bit delusional, but we here at the CSE staff are quite delusional sometimes. We think we've done a fairly good job this time around of trying to capture as many of the different competitive skill sets as we can. And so obviously the traditional format, we start with the solos. And I think our first solo here, I think it's pretty difficult. What do you say, Atomic?
So I got all of these songs an equivalent of like 10 minutes ago, and just from titles alone, I recognize some of them. This is one of them I recognize. We're starting out really strong here, especially for those who are only familiar with CSE Open Tournament competition level difficulty ceiling. We're starting out immediately really strong here.
You know what else rhymes with recognize?
Well, we can go down the list. It's mechanized.
It's Mechanized by Adrian English, everyone's favorite guitar tone. So the thing is, right? This was actually going to be in Elite League previously. For those that may remember, back the last time we had Elite League before it got canceled mid-season, this was on that list. So when we said we're bringing Elite League back, I looked at the list of songs that we didn't use from that pool, and like I didn't want to go all out and just like reuse that pool or whatever, because we have a different set of players coming in, different skill sets, different skill levels. It's not all going to translate from that one, but we really did want to kind of nail the just like, this is what you're getting yourself into. This is the level of play you have to step up for now. And of all those songs from, I'll call it the forbidden set list, quote unquote, this one I think really just stands out as like, this is peak tournament gameplay right here.
Absolutely.
Like it has everything you kind of want in a solo pick to test everything that like makes you a good solo player, especially in terms of the one-handing aspect of it, right? It's all these kind of like sweeps you have to handle. Right now we're going through a bit of a trill section. These trills pop up more than a couple times throughout the chart. You have to be good at that. The path on this is not trivial whatsoever. There's one particular activation at the start of the second solo that you really have to watch out for. This is one where I think like ultimately, like, you can certainly have the capability of FCing this song, but the consistency required to be able to do it in match, if you really want to like sure yourself up and like really just get a competitive advantage over your opponent, being able to FC this song like once or twice isn't enough. You have to like be on your game. You have to know your activations, because the activation that would happen typically right about here is a huge one where you'd have to essentially avoid an overlap in the sweeps, which is really crazy here. Like these sweeps are pretty dang difficult. There's a phrase right there that you don't want to overlap. It's kind of all the different facets of competitive play outside of strumming kind of in one chart. Like all the different solo aspects, all the different competitive pathing aspects, just all right into one chart. And that's why when I saw that, just like, we have to bring that back. Like, it wasn't used, it wasn't ever played, it was only practiced for like a week or two maybe, like a week I think. And no one ever played any matches on it. So it's like, we gotta bring it back. We gotta bring it back.
Tons of different sweeping methods, ton of different tapping methods. Very fast, very slow, as you said, very methodical about activation placement. This got it all. Oof.
So yeah, this song is by Adrian English, a guitarist who passed away a couple years ago. I don't remember exactly how many. I think back in like 2014, 2016, 2018, something like that. I don't know. 20-something, I'm pretty sure. Somewhere in the 2010s. And this also features Chris Story, who I believe, going off memory, I believe that's the guitarist from All Shall Perish. Obviously, Adrian English, insanely talented guitarist, quite an interesting guitar tone, to put it professionally. If I wanted to be a little bit less professional about it, I'd have some more choice words about it. But it's spicy. That's what I'll call it.
Yeah.
And then those trills that we saw twice earlier, well, guess what? We got them again.
But slightly different this time.
2019. 2019 is when Adrian English passed away. Yep. Fun little fact. Our friend Jeremy here actually looped this outro when he released it on CTH3. So this is not the canon edition of the song, but it's also not a CSC edit. It was already like that.
Man, the Stig is not keeping up today, man.
Ooh.
What happened?
How did you lose 3 songs to the Stig?
Dude, don't ask questions. Don't ask questions, man. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. They had such a strong performance in the open playoff reveal. They fell off. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
man.
So if you want to go from guitar shredder who, maybe, so some people kind of have mixed opinions on him. Like, is he really that, like, he's technically good, but does he sound that good or whatever? I think our next one, in terms of just sound, like not even the gameplay, but just the sound of it, the next one is undeniably one of the all-time greatest guitar players. And so, I think, I don't think you can argue that. I really have nothing much else to say other than who's ready for some Sean Lane.
Alrighty.
So this was a pick by Jeremy, one of the new people on the song selection committee, and as you can see, these solo picks are they're not letting up.
Oh, buddy! All right.
And this being our solo stamina pick, yeah. So right. This one's quite wild. The way Jeremy described this, before I even got to see the chart, I instantly said yes, because he said, quote, "It's Lane's Blitz for 3 minutes." And oh my goodness, I could not have said yes any quicker.
I should probably preface this for everyone. I am like completely blind to a majority of this. Yeah. I see what Jeremy's saying. I see.
Yeah. So with all the new people on the setlist committee, this is really going to be like, again, the words I have for it is like creativity, kind of like novelty to the setlist, where it's like there's kind of the traditional aspects of like previous CSC tournament set lists that we've had, where it's like obviously you have like the guitar virtuosos in the solo pick because like what else are you going to put there, right? But
Right.
I think like it's such a fresh perspective on like what makes a tournament chart difficult and versus like what doesn't. So like here in these solo picks, you're gonna see like how well you do in the solo picks. How well you do in these solo picks is going to come down to just raw note hitting ability, right? But as you see towards maybe the strums, maybe some of the normal hybrids, you're going to see your pathing and your consistency is also going to have to be on point. So I don't think there's any situation where someone who has maybe like a biased skill set is really going to have anything easy to lean on just because like, you know, your opponent is going to easily be able to attack your weaknesses. If you have any sort of weaknesses whatsoever, competitively speaking, like your opponent's going to have every opportunity to come back with that. So what I think we've come out with is something that's like really, really like well balanced in the competitive sense of like people who are more well-rounded are going to come out on top more often. Yeah, what's crazy here is that like of the three solo picks, and we haven't seen the third one yet, but of the three solo picks, I think you could easily pick really any one of them and say this one could be the hardest.
Wow, that's really fast. Yeah.
Yeah, and so if you're like Atomic and you're washed because you just spent a week at GDQ and didn't play very much, and your solo stamina isn't that good, you're gonna look at that and you're gonna be like you're gonna look at that and you're gonna be like, oh, I'm banning that every time. But then maybe
But
you aren't as good at the solo tech aspect, and
yeah,
so maybe you'd ban this next one, or maybe
maybe
you'd
you'd ban this next one.
maybe you ban the Adrian English because those sweeps were a little too
Oof.
fast for you, or you can't do those trills or something. You know,
Yeah,
there's
you could see by my ghost count, I was everywhere. But on this next one, you can't be everywhere on this one. You cannot.
no. I would like everybody to take a wild guess who picked this next one. I'm not even going to give it an introduction.
No,
I'm gonna let
don't,
it I'm gonna let it speak for itself.
don't say anything. People will already get it. It doesn't matter.
people people will know as
People
soon
will
as they see
already
this next
know.
one. Who
All right,
picked this?
all right, chat. Come on now. You should know.
Hello.
Finally.
I have a chart at the tournament.
Yep.
So it is an abridged version of the Invalids tapping Noodly. And it doesn't really change the difficulty of it very much. It just makes it shorter and cuts out the filler. So I really did think like we're pushing the envelope here in terms of skill ceiling as of like recent tournaments, and we have Elite League, and this is the best of the best. Like I will die on the hill that I think this is finally Elite League groups material, right? Like I think that. I had considered putting this for like the solo tiebreak, but I just think the dead space has made it like kind of not really viable for that. And so I just kind of thought to myself, like, what if I cut out the dead spaces and see how long it was? And it turned out it was only a little bit over 5 minutes. So
Perfect.
it ended up being that we could just make an Elite League edit.
Man.
So yeah, big shout out to all the people who let me pick this. I mean, this is like by far the most like open-minded tournament committee that we've ever had. Like there weren't really any arguments in terms of like, you know, oh, we shouldn't do this, we shouldn't do this. It was always very like, okay, I see what you're cooking, let's run with it, right? So the thing is with like bringing Elite League back, I think the key thing, like as a staff, like let alone a song selection committee, but like as a staff in general, we really want to like keep all of our options open, kind of be able to like see where Elite League can go, see where just the tournament scene in general can go. So if we go with sort of the old stagnant picks of yesterday, like it's honestly just gonna, you know, there's not gonna be any innovation, there's not gonna be anything. So this is really just sort of a testament to like how far can we push the envelope here, and I really do think like we've absolutely, especially with these solo picks, I think of the three categories, solo, strum, hybrid, the solos definitely require the most note hitting ability, no question. There's no question about it. Which I think personally, like with the way soloing works in this game, the game will kind of allow you to get away with more uncleanliness, right? So, you know, you could argue it takes less skill to hit some of these more note dense solo-y stuff. So we're just gonna make it harder and just hope you get consistent at the strums, hope you get consistent at the hybrids, you know, kind of force yourself into like a well-rounded play style. And if you're not good at these are charts that really, like, again, I can't find a different phrase to use, but like it pushes the boundary, it pushes the envelope on how hard can you like push yourself on this, because I don't think any of these are unreasonable levels of difficulty. I just think that they're some of the hardest we've seen so far for this stage, and that's fine. Like, we want to keep pushing that. We hope you like open hobos, by the way.
I mean, I'm not complaining, but yeah, it's very tricky, especially if you haven't dealt with open hobos to this degree. Some of you might remember Fingeroid from a CSC Open. I believe it was Open 4.
I know we got a couple Fingeroid enjoyers in chat.
We do. This is that taken to the next level, with other stuff sprinkled in. It's not the entire song this time.
Yeah, well, with Fingeroid, like, the most tapping you need to do is maybe boomer tapping. This, like...
Maybe.
You have to tap this, unless you're, like, Jarvis.
I mean, I've been trying to one-hand all of this.
and then I kept in the break at the end here to kind of build tension. Having FC'd the full chart of Idle Promise twice, I can tell you, it's really, really nerve-wracking to sit through this break. And so I was questioning whether or not I should keep the break. I kept it because if it's at all close,
that's insane,
it's going to really pressure the competitors, mentally speaking.
Wow. Yeah, all three solo songs are, like you said, extremely unique. They all test something very different.
No, Tolly's absolutely right. That break is indeed it is psychological warfare.
Yeah, absolutely.
That break that is literally my intention of keeping that break. I was like, oh, I'm just gonna go straight to the outro, and I'm like, I don't know, something just popped into my head. I'm like, I have to cut this outro. I have to keep the outro. I have to basically like make people feel those same nerves that I felt whenever I FC'd Idle Promise. And actually, I FC'd the full Invalids tapping noodly too, because it's my chart and screw you.
Naturally. Man.
So
man,
I would say,
really cool.
I would say in terms of raw note hitting abilities, you just saw probably three of the hardest charts.
That was very dense. Yeah.
One of the strum picks you could argue is harder than maybe like one of the solos. But we'll get there when we get there. The first one, we have another Jeremy suggestion and yet another CSC Elite League edit.
Yes.
And also
speed up.
Goblin Hoompa by the Dreadnoughts at 115. If you don't know what that is, that's fine, because that is a personal Jeremy chart.
I was gonna say I have no idea.
Obviously starts off with a little bit of fretting here, but again, this is sort of the thing. So I mentioned like the extreme amount of creativity that was brought into the set list. One of the big paradigm shifts we kind of had is our strum picks. Like, these are by far the frettiest strum picks we've ever had, and we're kind of thinking like, you know, for like open playoffs, you kind of want to box yourself more into a specific archetype with these charts, because like you're more likely to have like hyper specialized players on the lower end, where like, you know, you have someone who's like really good at strum stamina but like can't really do much else. We kind of want to avoid that. We really want to like have balanced, well-rounded charts, and so that includes now the strums. These strum picks are like, they're strum leaning, but
Right.
some people might come out and say like, "Oh, it's too much fretting. This would have been a hybrid back in the old days." And sure, it would have been a hybrid back in the old days or something. You could probably argue that, but at the same time, it tests the strumming skill set in a way that like, if you and another player are playing, the better player is just gonna win on this. Like, this is kind of the whole like the heuristic we're going with. Like, are these charts to where the better player is going to win? And for the solos, is it solo leaning? For the strums, is it strum leaning? For the hybrid, is it a little bit of mix of both? And the answer we all have basically agreed to is yes. So really, it's like a song selection committee. We're trying to expand our horizons in terms of like what categorizes a pick to be a strum, what categorizes a pick to be a hybrid. Really big shout outs to Nados, Jeremy, Lilith, for like really helping like kind of open everything to that. Also, that chart ends with a view.
Wow. That's really cool. That's really cool. That's very strict. Now that I can talk, now that I'm no longer playing. That's very strict. I saw this many times in that chart. A lot of it's not consistently straight line strumming, right? There's a couple breaks in there. So if you don't know when the breaks are, if you don't know what strum orientation you're on, you're just gonna lose at this level of competition.
Yeah. So that suggestion was brought to you by Jeremy. I believe the speed up was decided on as a group. I think we settled on 115 to be decent enough speed.
That felt, yeah.
I will say with my personal skill set, I would consider this next strum to be the hardest of the three.
Okay.
And
I
the other thing, so we've always talked about, you know, solos in the strum pick. For some of the more strumming biased players in here, if you're not good enough at your soloing, this might still not even be your bread and butter.
Buddy.
The solo in here for about 2 or 3 seconds gets really hard.
Really?
But the rest of it's an arm burner. So yeah.
Oh, buddy.
In
right.
most tournaments, this might just get edited to like take out the solo or something. But again, with the new eyes that we had on the song selection committee, the idea that like, yes, we should have our players be good at everything. Like, this chart is absolutely strum focused. You know, strummers should be better at this chart. But like, it's not guaranteed if you're going against someone who's like about the same strumming as you, but vastly better soloing. That the solo in this could make the difference.
All right. I hear you, but I'll need to see it to believe it. Yeah, let's go into it. If I may, this is called London is Burning.
by Vorpal Nomad.
I have not seen this.
So the the loading phrase says that the easy chart contains the force chart if you want to challenge. Yeah, this is that force chart.
This makes sense now. Wow. All right.
One thing you'll notice with these songs is that the harder the song, usually the less we care about how it sounds for a tournament. So like when I led the open groups setlist committee, I was really focused on making sure everything sounded good, because we're gonna have 100 or more people listening to these songs for several weeks straight, and it's going to be some of them might be casual, some of them might not be as casual, but regardless, we need to make sure it's a listenable, palatable experience. Here with Elite League, we care about the gameplay, we care about the skill. So you might notice we don't care about the song quality, all right? We don't care much about that. At least it's not Mayhem, all right? I do apologize for me. That was me who picked Buried by Time and Dust, okay? Nothing's that bad, all right? I don't think Adrian English is even that bad. And this is the solo. Enjoy.
Oh, they're buried. All right.
And it's like, oh, that wasn't that bad. It's just
You said 2 to 3 seconds. Oh, where is it?
It's probably even shorter than that.
Alright.
Yeah, so enjoy.
Oh, there's tapping. Alright.
Gives me vibes of, if anybody remembers from Elite League playoffs season 2. This is the Razor chart.
What
was the... I don't even remember the name of it anymore, but yeah. Solo to Strum Pick. You better be good at your solos. Fun fact, I don't think London is burning right now. I think that's wrong.
That's, in fact, incorrect.
Please do not burn the London.
We need it. Wow. Whew. Yeah, please go check Lilith, but it shouldn't be burning. That is an arm burner in a different way. There's stamina elements to it, but it is just really fast. It's really fast. Yeah. You have to keep you can't just straight line it. I know there's straight lines in there, but that ending bit with groups of 3 notes and then an orange or something like that, you have to keep it syncopated. You can't just straight line it. You have to keep
it's the martial arts. It's the martial arts. Yep. That's the one I was thinking of. Martial Arts 115.
Yeah. But yeah, I can see this is a arm burner for the sake of control and syncopation. It's fast, but you also have to keep it exactly in line because your frame depends on it.
So here's the thing about our next song, right? So if you try to map this onto the traditional strum,
this is weird.
The strum consistency, the strum stamina, there's aspects of the strum consistency in the first one. There's aspects of the strum stamina in the second one. So you would expect strum control to really be the next one here.
But,
and oh my goodness, do we have that?
Oh, buddy.
This is a 3-up pick. It's a 3-up chart. And I absolutely fully endorse this. It's so good. It's so good.
All right. I guess let's just get into
it. Shout out Miscellany as well. I believe the title is French.
All right. Let's hit it. Le banquet.
Le banquet.
Si tu Le Bonque. C2C. I don't know this. It says that
Atomic.
this is off of a quarterly.
This is a U chart, Atomic. I'm just gonna say it right now. This is.
So I should. Okay. Oh, it's me. Oh, this is me. All right. Shout out to everyone in the 5-fret proof server doing all strums right now.
Speaking of the 5-fret proof server, this song's on FC'd. Get it done.
Get it done.
Get it done. No one's FC'd this one yet. I got close before I had to stop playing. I think Birdie got pretty close at one point. Yeah, someone FC this, please. You have a reason now.
It's gonna be really hard for me to keep my bias out of this.
This is definitely a memorizer's heaven chart, so to speak. Like, if you're the kind of person that just, maybe you're not quite good at sight reading, but you're really good at just like memorizing bits that come up in a chart, right? Like, this one is just, ooh, it's amazing. It's so good. It's so good. There's some tap strumming in here, which like I've usually been against tap strumming, but I've realized there is an aspect of like specific strumming skill that you need. Yeah, there's an aspect like it's a different kind of strumming skill, but it is a strumming skill, and
there is an art to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. If I may, Random, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
As someone who might be in the minority who likes tap strumming, there is a delicate nature to it that is hard for a lot of people to approach, to get comfortable with. But it's fully learnable. You don't have to under-tap this stuff.
Yep. We were definitely within our rights to CSC edit out the bridge. We didn't, mostly because, it didn't need to be. It's not like it's a horrible amount of downtime. It's kind of like a nice break. It's a nice mental break. Obviously, right, like, anybody could argue, like, any downtime is not good in a chart, but you could also argue just as much that the players kind of benefit from just a little bit of a mental break and, like, a, place to catch your breath, place to, like, regain, You get to look over, see your opponent's score. You get to basically say, like, okay, I'm 2,000 points off. Okay, so they just need to miss once. So...
yeah.
You get another one of those here, that's totally fine. We've had plenty of charts that are like this. I think in the extra notes I put, this is like a weird mix of Conical and Groundhog. It's like not quite as hard as Conical.
Cool.
Not quite as
okay.
A little bit easier, or a little bit harder than Groundhog, definitely. So it's like this weird hybrid that sits right in the middle of difficulty wise, and also just like style wise. Again, big shout outs to 3UP on the song selection committee and the person who charted this. They're really cool. This is probably one of the least sight read friendly charts in the whole thing.
Yeah. Wow.
Some men see things as they are and say why.
I'm trying to find words to remove my bias.
So kind of the theme here is these the solo picks kind of targeting more of like the skill ceiling that you can push with solos, and the strum picks kind of turn that on its head and go, all right, the most you can push a strum, your skill ceiling on a strum pick is like, how technical can you be? How fast can you be? How much stamina do you have? And so we're really just like, what strum picks could trip you up the most? And I like
This is up there. Yeah.
this is pretty good. This is pretty good for that.
Wow. Like you had strum control in the sake of like groups of X amount of notes, right? From the first song. You had strum control in speed in the previous song about having to keep your fretting hand in time with it, but it's not as sporadic. This is strum control with every single note you have to press. You cannot falter. You have to be fully synced for this. This is cool. This is really cool.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So the next run of charts we have are arguably the most like pathing friendly charts that we'll have in the set list.
Right.
I think the people who are looking to use their pathing knowledge as like an advantage on players who you might think have like a higher skill ceiling than you. I think you should really pay attention to these next charts and like see what you can get out of them, because I
hybrids
think
are the place to do it.
I mean, yeah, I was speaking with Brad about this in a call the other day, where it's like this is really where like your money needs to be made if you see yourself sort of as an underdog player, like an underseeded player, like, oh, I don't know how I got here. But if you really want to do your best, like these are the picks to do it. The hybrids typically always follow that pattern, with the exception of Chemical Warfare last season. But hey, we don't talk about that.
We don't talk about that one. Yeah. What song? What? Anyway.
So can I get the letter E in chat?
Yeah. Can we get a ton of E's? We need help spelling something. Yeah.
It needs to be capital E's, by the way. It needs to be
capital E's. Yeah. Yep. Keep them coming. Keep them coming. We need a lot of E's for this one. Thank you, Birdie. You heard me.
All right, and Skull Joke is banned from Elite League.
All right. We now have another vacant slot. Put the Stig in. He can do it, I promise.
Okay.
The Stig. All right.
This next one, I believe, is picked by our very own Natos, who I did see in chat earlier. It is Egyptian by 7 for 4.
At 130% speed.
Yep. So, one of the very nice coincidences, the way we number our songs, we just, when we put them in the file order, we have to like put a number at the start so they show up in the right order in your directory. It being by 7 for 4, it would feel wrong not to put it at number 7, since it very much is a hybrid.
Yeah. Of course. Oh, that's cool.
Yep. Yeah, and broadcast relayed in my ear. It's song 7 in the category with 4 picks. So it's really 7-4-4.
Which makes complete sense.
I imagine this song is also a great palate cleanser if you just played London is Burning and Mechanized back to back.
Yeah. I was gonna say, this sounds great. Wow. All right.
Yeah, we got another little break section, but doesn't last for very long here.
Wow. Okay. Wow, that's interesting. I was about to say, yep, that's the point section, but it was gone immediately.
I think with like most of these hybrids, especially this one and the next two, they're both like really slow burns. You look at them, you might go like, is this too easy for Elite League? Is this? But like, they're slow burns. You gotta let them cook.
Yeah.
Like, it's it's really easy to make like quick first judgments on these, and
Yeah.
I don't know. The more I've seen this one, the more I actually really like it. Especially with this part coming up here.
That's cool.
And then right into the solo.
Oh, that's crusty.
Little
All right.
little bit of buried strums. Thank you, Zanguin, everybody. Thank you.
Sanguine. Sanguine still has sins to atone for. And then back to this. Oh, this is way harder.
As I said, it's a slow burn, but boy, does it cook after a while.
Ow, okay. Excuse me for connecting things back to my previous Elite Leagues. There was a little bit of Django's Raining Heart in there. Just a little bit with the chords and the sayings. Wow.
Yeah, we really feel like this one is like, it's not
Wow.
it's not as like high end of a skill ceiling as compared to like, you know, Not Again Live or Invalids Tapping
Yeah.
Rudely. But it
Right.
gets you. It gets you.
It gets you. There's a difference between charts, like you said, that are like noodling medley, Not Again, charts like that just throw you into it. And then there's charts like these where it's a slow burn. It can catch you off guard. You can be put in a false sense of security in that regard.
Oh,
This
Atomic, you
could
should have
go
missed one
many
more
ways.
note.
I really should have. I really
It's no
should've.
longer demand 2413 now, it's demand 2313.
It's now 2314. Ah, yes. Wow. Yeah, very tricky. I'm curious about the path on that one, personally. I'm curious how people will approach that.
I haven't looked at the path on that one personally. I did generate all of them. They will be released, but I haven't looked at it. I imagine it's very wonky. This next one, yeah, if everyone wants to say that Primus sucks, get it out right now, because, you know, Primus sucks. So this next one is going to be off of an unreleased set list, and I'm pulling up the name now. The acronym is WOW WTF UG, and it stands for Wacky, Off the Walls, Weird, Terrifying, Flabbergasting, Unlistenable, God Awful, Horrendous.
That makes sense.
That's where this next song comes off of.
So this is going to sound great. This is going to be a great time, isn't it? All right. Well, as I see here, this is another CSE Elite League edit. Also at 125% speed. Let's jump into it. This is from Les Claypool, One Better. Let's see.
Oh, yeah. This is absolutely insane pig.
Let's see.
From Miscellany, Soyadesu commissioned this chart technically. All right, hold on. I'm getting this word live. So yeah, this is. Okay, so the backstory to let me get the name again, because this is really long. Wacky, off the walls, weird, terrifying, flabbergasting, unlistenable, god awful, horrendous. It's an NCV set list if you haven't been able to keep up with chat or anything, and it's inspired off of the Bizarro monthly packs that used to exist.
Okay. Oh, what on earth?
This is a miscellany pick. Obviously, he charted it. And this is our little middle finger to our second place open tournament runner-up, Geo, with all these trills.
Ooh. That's weird.
Yeah, there's this one very much. This is one of those ones where, like, you look at it compared to the other charts, and just like the last one, right? Where, like, on the surface, it doesn't look nearly as bad as, like, some of the solo picks. But then you actually, like, load this up and you play it, and it's like, wait a second.
Yeah.
And it's like everything C-Squin had from open playoffs, but just, like, turned up.
Wow, cool.
Trying to think of, like, other songs this reminds me of. Shout out to Miscellany for forcing the marimba here. Instead of making it tap notes.
Oh, I could do that normal one.
Yeah, these could very easily be just all taps. But Miscellany, in his ever-growing wisdom, at some point decided not to make these taps. I don't know if it was out from the get-go. I know he's in chat. He's been talking. He could probably explain the forcing decision behind it.
Actually, I kind of prefer the forcing like that. I really do.
Oh, I do too.
It makes what you're supposed to do way more direct and clear, but still really difficult.
I think it goes to show, like, how charting is, like, come around in Clone Hero, because, like, if that were charted in, like, 2020, like, that would have been all taps all day.
No questions asked. Yeah. Still going. Oh, it's got a fade out and everything. Let's go. That's cool. That's really cool.
Yeah,
it doesn't present itself as difficult, but that is very technical under the hood there. That is very technical. Wow.
It's one of those things. And as Miscellany points out, the part of the edit was to move around things onto the lead guitar, and it also cut out, I think it was like a minute and a half. Yeah, so
Man.
it's a really, really good pick. I think with, like, if you're a player that, and you know going into this that you have, like, a really high skill ceiling, you have to be on your game here, because you have to clean up, like, the little details. Like, these charts here, you know, we're giving you a wide range. We're giving you the super hard note hitting stuff. We're giving you the pathing stuff, and we're giving you stuff like this, where, like, you have to kind of put it all together. You have to be able to hit notes consistently. You have to be able to path consistently. That's, like, we have an idea for, like, what the ideal tournament player should look like. And this is, like, this is the thing they should be really, really good at.
Yeah. That makes sense. That makes sense to me. Fully on board with this.
And on the theme of slow burn hybrids, I think we have one more coming up here.
Indeed.
It's a little bit more in your face, possibly, but we'll see. You know, it's just
see.
one Moyai statue's opinion.
Yep.
Yeah, don't take my opinion as, like, the gospel or anything. Like, this was decided on by a group of people. I just happen to be the spokesperson, but I'm mostly just speaking from my viewpoints.
Of course.
Anybody else on the song committee who has their thoughts, like, just let them know in chat, like, what, you know, your personal thoughts on everything. So this next one is another miscellany pick, and obviously then another miscellany chart. I'm just going to read out verbatim what miscellany posted. Will be featured in the third iteration of the Shadow Intent discography pack. The whole pack will be updated full band, full difficulties, and with vocal support, which also includes an album solo medley, riff medleys, and drum fill medleys. Estimated release would be hopefully somewhere between September and November of this year.
Beautiful. Be on the lookout for that. Oh, a riff medley. That's gonna be sick. That's gonna be sick. But obviously, if you haven't gathered from that, it's a Shadow of Intent song. Obviously to be released. I'm seeing here you guys did you did an edit for this. It is at 125% speed. Let's see what happens.
So
Oh, go ahead, please.
With it being full band, full difficulty, that would mean like the lead guitar charts wouldn't have some of the things that was like on the bass chart. So obviously,
oh, okay, all right.
we want to combine that chart to make it as competitively interesting as possible. So that's what we did here.
I see what you're putting down. All right, let's do this. This is Apocalypse Canvas.
Yep. So the bass solos got moved to the guitar chart. This was one of the last things we were kind of debating on as we were curating the set list, was like whether or not this should be at like 125 or 130. I really don't think it'll make that much of a difference, but it is one of those things that like comes up naturally as you create a set list. Like you'll have these like little squabbles about like, ooh, should this song be at 125 or 130? For any of those out there that are like looking to make your own tournament or looking to be a part of a tournament curation team, right, where like you're helping curate a set list, the big thing you need to realize, because it's a common theme that's come up time and time again, you should just pick something and roll with it. Like whatever you first pick, roll with it, and then see if it really needs changing, and like if that's the case, change it. But you'll find like 95% of the time, it's fine. Like, it's such a huge thing. Yeah, so that's just my word of advice for anybody who's like looking to, you know, make their own tournament or whatever, and is like having a hard time coming up with a set list. Like, just make a decision you think is right, stick with it, go with it, and then see what happens. And obviously here, in terms of the gameplay, in case you were wondering why it's a hybrid, there you go. There's more stuff coming up soon, but that kind of gives you a taste of what we're dealing with here.
That's cool.
Yeah, so shout out to Shadow of Intent. I believe Misk has access to all their stems because I think he accessed them through the band's Discord, if I heard correctly.
Maybe Miss can confirm on that. Ooh, that's tricky. Especially the ending of that solo there.
And also, little. Okay, yeah, Miss cleared it up in the chat. Yeah, he got it because he messaged the guitarist. He messaged the guitarist about it.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah, one of the things you notice there at the end of that, I guess, second solo, with the buried strums, there's a very long sustain. I always think it's funny whenever you have something like that, because like if you miss that sustain, that's actually quite a few points.
Yeah. Even sustain points like that, especially at an Elite League level, they build up quickly. Every sustain you gotta hold.
And then this outro here is the reason I like, when I originally was going through this and I'm like, could it have been 130? Could it have not? And I see this outro here and I'm just like, ooh, I love this.
Okay.
I love this.
Shoutouts to Chaos. from CFC Open 1.
Now, I haven't looked at the path, but I would love to see if there's an activation in here that you have to do that involves, like, squeezing an open hopo.
That would suck.
Yeah, safe to say, Shadow Intent cooks here. Shadow of Intent cooks here. Miscellany cooked here. I think it's an all-around banger.
Cool. That's really cool. I love how many different styles of play there are in this song. I like that a lot. It's a hybrid. It goes pretty much everywhere. There was strum tech, there was strum speed, there were buried strums, there were zigs, there were quads, there was open hopo logic, there's everything.
Yeah, and so really, like, when you think about a traditional tournament set list, like, what fits into that last hybrid slot, usually, like, we'll refer to it as the hybrid gimmick, even though it's technically, like, we've technically gotten rid of those, like, archetypes, like, years ago, but, like, it's a nice way to, like, fit things in. So we have Justin Timberlake.
Yeah, this confused me. I don't know what this looks like, but go ahead, Random.
Although it's not actually Justin Timberlake, it's a Justin Timberlake cover. So, I mean, it's your typical fingerstyle chart. It's not crazy in the sense of, like, you know, it'd be super hard to do on dropless sustains, but it's like, I don't know, it's a Jeremy suggestion. I remember asking for open playoffs if he had any, like, hybrid gimmicks. And he threw this one out there, and I didn't end up going with it. And I'm like, but that could be Elite League groups. And so here it is.
I see.
It's Cry Me a River, Justin Timberlake cover by Marcin.
And again, for people who may not be familiar with this is another personal Jeremy chart I'm seeing. All right. Oh, Chupacabra.
So there's a running theme.
Funny.
There's quite a few CSC edits in the set list. So this one and another one both basically have sections that have quite a bit of chord strumming. And all we did was just change those chords to single notes in point, spots where it would either be, like, too easy of free points to, like, swing a match in, like, just off of one section alone. So basically this one, and I didn't mention it earlier, but Goblin Hoompa had their free point sections basically turned into single notes instead of chords. That was the only edit we did on both of those.
Oh.
So this one, in terms of, like, raw note hitting ability, I would argue is probably the easiest of the 10. But I think here, like, your ability to, like, hold sustains, your ability to get whammy, your ability to squeeze, it's really going to show through on this. And I genuinely think, like, it kind of seals the gap of, like, all the things we're looking to test that, like, the other songs might not have gotten.
Right.
So yeah, here it's just like we need something to, like, differentiate, like, are you able to squeeze? Are you able to path? Are you able to, like, improv path? In case you missed something. And, like, I really do think this song tests that particular skill set quite well, along with all the sustains that you have to worry about. Yeah, so originally this right here was chords.
Yeah, that would not be good for score purposes.
So
Oh.
Yeah, so I imagine if there's going to be like one song that like everybody FCs, it's going to be this one, which I think is fine.
I mean,
It really matters more about like the aspect of like how are you going to handle in tournament? How are you going to handle in a match where, you know, your placement's on the line, whether or not you keep your Elite League spot, whether or not you make playoffs. Like that level of stakes is something you have to account for as a song selection committee. And so this is another one where it's like, yeah, sure, it's way easier than Not Again. It's way easier than Invalids. It's way easier than London is Burning. But like,
but that's fine with
can
how
you
much variance there is in it.
can you absolutely just keep your nerve in a match? Because like,
Yeah,
I remember in Moose Pickles Cup there was Hysteria,
there was Hysteria.
the
Yeah.
Hysteria Muse cover chart, which is very similar to this, arguably with more extended sustains, and that chart was nerve wracking.
Yeah,
Because
super slow, super easy. I'm sorry, Amanda, but
Yeah,
I
no,
faced
no.
you.
Yeah.
Super slow over there, super evenly paced, but in a match, completely different story. Outside a match, Random and I could probably FC it every time. In match, no.
I don't think
No.
either of one. I don't. No, I think we both only FC'd it like once in match.
Yeah, but this follows a similar, a similar route here. People might have a good time practicing this, but in actual practical application, it might be a different story. You might be shocked.
This is
You might be
this
shocked.
is the psychological warfare pick.
Honestly, I could see it.
We had chemical warfare in open playoffs. Now we got psychological warfare.
Beautiful.
All right, who's ready for our tie breaks?
Oh, buddy. Oh boy. All right.
Does anybody know where Joe is?
Yeah. Where's Joe?
Where's Joe?
Where's Joe? Joe?
Joe?
Joe?
Joe?
Joe S. We're looking
Joe?
for one Joe S.
Yeah, this next one's by
Anyone?
Joe S.
Yeah, this is Joe S. Abbreviated. Joe's. This is by Joe's. Absolutely. Well,
All right,
I think we found him. I think we found him.
Someone got it. It's Joe Stump.
It's Joe Stump. We're looking for one Joe Stump. Looking for one. Looking for one Psycho Shred Suite at
135, baby.
135. This is gonna be a lot.
You know, I'm surprised we have more people guessing Joe Stump over Joe Satriani when we say Joe S.
That's actually impressive.
I didn't see a single person take the bait on Joe Satriani.
Wow.
I believe this was a 3-up pick, which is wild considering like 3-up is like a kind of like a 3 or 4 seed in the open tournament group stage, and so like the ability to like recognize the proper level of skill needed for these charts, like because that is a skill set, being able to see like what's hard, what's not.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and so obviously, so Strums in the solo pick, you know, it makes sense. We make the argument that like it's okay to keep solos in the Strum pick. Well, now we got Strums in the solo. It's fine.
It's fine. I mean, clearly this whole set list is about, the strengths of one skill set in any given chart, right? But the other skill sets can still creep up. So this just reflects that.
Yeah, like you
That's
have to be
fine.
on your game.
Wow. All right.
Yeah, so So some of you strummers, you might look at this solo tiebreak and go, well, there's enough strumming in this solo tiebreak. I might want to go to this. But then you're going to look at the strum tiebreak and be like, ooh, I want that.
Yeah. I can vouch for that.
Don't say if you're a strum leaning player that you want to lean towards the solo tiebreak. Just wait. Just wait till you see the strum tiebreak. Because but I mean, luckily with Joe Stump, I don't really have to say much here. It's a Joe Stump. It's shredding. Like, the only gripe I really had with this chart, and I kind of kept it to myself, was that, like, in, like, a typical solo pick, a lot of these strums would be, like... In, like, a typical solo pick, a lot of those strums would be, like, unforced. And it would make more sense to, like, keep them unforced.
We're only a third of the way. Like if it's two-handed.
Yep, this is I mean, it's Joe Stump. It's neoclassical.
I'm stubborn. I'm gonna keep one-handing.
If you keep missing, the Stig might catch you up.
You know, we don't even know what the Stig is capable of. I don't know. It's possible.
So.
0 ghosts.
So, yeah, one of the things, like, we also kind of kept in mind as, like, a committee, right, is the idea that, like, if you're going to a solo tiebreak, the odds are, like, you're not going to have the super solo-oriented players playing it. So, like, you know, it's not nearly as dense as Not Alive. It's not nearly as, like, technical tappy as Invalid's Tapping Noodly, but we kind of mainly envision, you know, people who play this would end up being more strum leaning. So, like, when I saw 3 pick this and I gave it a look through, the first look I saw, I was like, ooh, that's a lot of strums. Then I realized, like, well, the strummers are probably going to end up playing this anyways, so...
Right.
That was kind of the rationalization I used. Other people who are on the song selection committee might have, like, a different rationalization for why they like this chart, but, you know, there's...
But yours.
It's a shred pick. It's super shreddy. You can't take that away.
Absolutely.
I will say that exact argument I just made for, like, strum players might want to lean towards the solo. I will absolutely say, though, the solo players are not going to want to lean strum.
No. I at least know what that one's going to be like. And that one's completely true.
Yeah, so this one, like, I don't know, it's always really hard to find, like, proper tiebreakers as well. Anybody who's been on a song selection committee can attest. When you restrict yourself to, like, 6 minutes or longer on charts, you end up having to make, like, concessions that, like, you wouldn't otherwise make for, like, a normal pick. I really do think this is also going to have to test a lot of people's pathing.
Just from the sheer song length of this.
Yeah.
And how hard it is to maybe memorize some of it. It's all sweeping, right?
I mean, except for the occasional, like, trips and neoclassical orange walls.
Yeah. But, like, if you're trying to memorize, like, a specific note in a solo section like this, that's going to be pretty tricky if you're not familiar with that.
Yeah, so... Because typically, like, we've had in the past, like, for instance, Elite League 3 had Shrine of the Augmented Weave as the solo tiebreak. which was like a solo chart for solo players. This one is like it tests the solos, you know, enough for solo players that like the better solo player will win. But like if you're just a solo player and you can't strum, like
You're
your
gonna be in
opponent
trouble.
can, yeah, you're gonna have a rough time with this, which is like I make the argument that's a good thing. That's a thing we want at this higher level of gameplay, because we need to basically say like I'll say it. I've said it before. I'll say it again. The more well-rounded player, just all around, has an overall higher volume of skill, should win.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter if you're on this, you're on the Strum Tiebreak, you're on the Hybrid Tiebreak. If that's the way the series breaks and you win more songs than your opponent, that should be because you're the better player. And we really do think we've hit that with this set list.
So far, it feels like it. I mean, from playing from Song 1 to now, equally, my fretting arm and strumming arm are tired. They're both pretty equal, even as I'm doing this.
Shout out to that part, I think was slightly undercharted as well.
Maybe. But it doesn't matter, it fits perfectly. Man, that is tricky. Again, I'm also thinking about this under nerves, right? Like,
Yeah.
You're in a tiebreaker, you have to path, you have to strum still, you have to solo pretty perfectly. Under nerves, anything can happen. So, what might seem as a more consistent song, or maybe at times, maybe a bit slower at times,
Yeah.
in a tournament setting, practically in a tiebreak, the difficulty will amplify. It will increase.
Now, I will make a guarantee right now. With Elite League playoffs, all bets are off. It's going to be pure
Absolutely.
no hitting ability. Like,
All bets are off. The Stig is one over Strum. I don't know how. All bets are off. Anything can happen. Miracles and disasters.
All right. I
Okay.
would just like to say this next one is probably the most obvious pick of all time.
This screams
because
pick me.
Which is really funny because it's so obvious. Like, I didn't want to put it in there because it's like, well, duh, you put this in there. There's a few other reasons that other people have. They might not like this pick, but like this was so obvious. I actually had excluded it initially for like the reason of like this is too obvious. But we've been down that road before. And when I saw that like there really wasn't many good alternatives for the Strum tiebreak, I'm like, all right, we're doing this.
Everyone in chat can see me warming up my strumming arm. This is obvious.
I think a few people have already guessed this, like at some point.
Yeah, they had to have.
Well, I know they have. There's a screenshot where someone sent a message and it's like, how in the fuck? And it's like, yeah.
Right.
Anyways,
let's just. You ready?
Yeah,
I think Chrome has something to say.
Yeah, so I need help remembering a SpongeBob quote. I promise this is important. I remember most of it, I just can't remember what the last word is. And I think it goes something like, Krusty Krab is unfair, Mr. Krabs is in there, standing at the concession, plotting his... what's the last word?
Is it suspension?
That's kind of close, I don't think so.
Compression?
Funfair? No.
Plotting his retirement plan?
I don't know. Who wants to oppress one chat?
It is oppression, yeah. So...
All right.
You know what it is.
All right. We know.
Okay, so I'll come clean about it. When Elves was like in before the oppression in in the CSE tournament general chat. I was like, did I leak it? Did someone leak it? Like, and then I realized, like, oh no, it's just because it's like really obvious. Like, of course, this is, especially considering like the most strum stamina we tested was like London is Burning, which like does burn your arm, but it ain't on this. It ain't this.
It's nothing like this. For anyone who doesn't know what this chart is, what you're looking at right now, it gets worse still.
Oh yeah.
And it's the whole song, pretty much. There's like one solo, and that's the break.
The thing that makes this different from a lot of other stamina strumming charts is like the bits before the stamina strumming actually takes like a bit of control and like understanding of where you are in your strumming orientation. Because those riffs have a little bit of like oddness to them, in terms of like their groupings are not strictly an even groupings. So like the like this here's all evens, but I'm in the verses. Yeah. You'll see. If you count them, they're not perfectly even. So it's really easy to get your strumming orientation mixed up. You have to kind of like understand like where you are in your strumming orientation, or you just have to reset, which resetting in the middle of this can actually make the difference in stamina.
Which you'll see that's what I'm doing, and it takes it all under. Especially that one. Here we go again.
Yeah, so if you've hit this point and you're like not dying yet,
You will.
yeah, you will, because there's still more. Like we're not even halfway through.
Man. And that is right. And again.
Yeah, no, this one was like,
And this is your break.
yeah. Enjoy your break.
Yep. It doesn't last very long.
So again, I don't know all the pads for all the songs. I do roughly remember this one. I remember this one stands out in particular because it's one of the rare ES1 pads, which for those who don't know what that means, it means there is one extra phrase left over on the optimal path at the very end, so you just eat a phrase at the end.
Yeah. So remember that thing Random Days said earlier about if you're a Strum player, you might just go for the solo tiebreak? No. Also, here comes some insane coordination here.
Yep.
Say goodbye to your straight lining. In terms of fret position.
Yeah. Shout out to, I think both Remix and Jeff have 110 FCs of this.
That's insane. And then back to this.
And then just in case your arm wasn't dead,
Yep, one last stretch.
one last push. I mean, obviously you get a little bit of breaks here and there, but like,
But not much.
yeah, it ain't much.
Oh, close. Yeah. By now, I am really feeling...
And then here's the phrase you would typically eat.
Right. But don't do what I'm doing. I'm using it. Because I have to. And not that I used it too soon.
Imagine a match comes down to like backup acting on the last one.
It could. It could.
Okay, so if you want to talk about obvious tiebreaker picks,
This was it.
and this next one is
Okay.
somehow possibly even more obvious.
Okay, can
I believe. Hold on. I believe the note that 3UP gave when they suggested this was,
Oh, this
"How
is
come
3UP.
nobody has used this?"
All right, please let me talk about this.
Yep.
So, to immediately bounce off of that note, this hybrid tiebreak, I wanted to use in open. I wanted to use it. We weren't going to use it because we had, which was a great pick, but this needed to happen. This needed to happen. 3UP has answered the call. I see Lilith in chat saying she didn't pick any of the songs. In a weird way, you kind of did. I'm not even part of the selection committee. I'm focusing on what you've done. You kind of did.
I will say no. She did not literally pick any of these songs.
Not
but
actually.
the influence is there.
The influence is very there. This goes back to like mine and a lot of other charters' major push into this side of the community in terms of this comes back to
yeah, this is
actually kind of an old chart now, but it still holds up. There's a lot of technicalities here. From my guy, charted by Hodor, a CSC Elite League edit. Finally, Cicada. Camellia's Cicada. Finally.
The edit doesn't do anything notable other than it reduces the 3-note chord fast strumming to single note fast strumming. That is all it does. Everything else is untouched.
This makes me so happy.
Like, I don't know why I didn't immediately think of it. And as soon as I saw 3UP suggested, I was kind of mad. Like, why didn't I think of that?
Right. And again, if it weren't for Parallel Universe Shifter, this would have already been picked. But here we are. This is perfect for Elite League. This is perfect.
Yes. I believe these are the first ever raw Gerbo chords and raw 5-note chords in like an official CSC tournament.
Really? Wow.
I can't remember for the Throwback Invitational, the console invitational. Did we have the Smash Hits chart of Raining Blood? I don't think so, right?
I don't think so.
Yeah. Okay. So in that case, yeah, it's like the only possible one I could think of that has a 5-note.
Well, we killed 19 of them today right in this area. Those last 3 we caught trying to...
Okay. So, because of the edit, coming up here would usually be the act, but I've got to act a little bit early.
Yep. So right now this would be like 20-something NPS 3-note chords. We turn them into single notes. And that was the edit. That was the edit.
That was it. Everything else it should be as is.
By the way, I see Zeratek in chat. Yes, like we want more charts like this for tournaments.
We do.
Like, this is the kind of stuff that tests every single like skill set. You know, even if your chart's like primarily a strumming focused, but like still kind of quirky chart, like we want that. If it's primarily solo focused, kind of quirky chart. Like, if it tests your raw skill in the way like that it does here, like we want that. This is the kind of stuff we've been looking for.
Man. A tricky chording complexity thing coming up here. It's slow like this, but if you're not focused, this.
I mean, this chart really does just test everything.
This is everywhere. Yeah.
Except for like maybe strum stamina, maybe like there's no real arm burners because like that really fast strumming there, like I don't think lasted long enough to be considered a stamina thing.
I would agree with that. Yeah. Huh. I'll try to strum that. Hey. It's 100% doable, but man, it's fast.
And we're only halfway through.
Only halfway. This is your break. This is the B break. Man. I also appreciate this for like a tournament sense, this downtime here.
Yeah.
Because again, we talk about like the psychological game and trying to stay focused and not getting too nervous. There is so little happening around here that if it's a close match and you can see all scores on the screen, it's going to be really hard to be calm here. And then you're going to be thrown right back into it. And it's Camellia, so you know once we're done with this break, there's no more. Back to the intro part.
And also, something underrated, being able to hold all these sustains under these trills is a skill set in and of itself.
Right. Here comes some money. Beautiful.
Yeah, so
Funny lyrics. Back when the lyric shenanigans were honestly pretty new.
yeah.
Alright. Here comes, in my opinion, like, at least for FC ability, but also for tournament play now, one of the most violent things.
Spit fire, baby. Dog, I don't even one-hand this.
I urge everyone to try to learn to tap it. It's way more consistent.
I remember the first time I ever really like started interacting with like the competitive side of things here in the Clonier community. You know, the tournament side. I remember I was like, I specifically asked Matrop like, hey, you know, how do I get better at like this Strum Tech stuff? And he's like, oh, just play some Camellia. And like then like we're in a Clonline lobby and he just loads up Cicada and I'm like, oh my goodness, where has this been all my life? and a very chokeable outro.
Yep. Those chords at the end there, if you're not under a combo, that could decide everything. Seriously. Wow. Yeah, that'll do it for the set list. It's these tiebreakers are insane, dude. All of this is crazy.
I truly do have to give my full confidence in the set list and say we cooked, but I really wanted to get this out there, and like I want other people to like give us all the feedbacks, all the criticisms, all the praise, you know, whatever thing you have to say about this, like say it.
Yeah,
like,
no, we need to hear it. We want to hear it.
That's how we take this and find a way to make it even better.
Yeah, because this is a great set list. We've made a lot of great set lists. We've made some not so great set lists, but none of them are perfect. So feedback on everything, whether it's positive criticism or, you know, stuff we need to improve. We want to hear it.
If you're worried about like coming across as like rude if you don't like something, like my biggest thing is like try to word it in a way that's like constructive criticism. Like if you have criticism, at the very least make it constructive. Don't just say, oh, this is bad, I don't like this is bad. Be like, there are issues with this chart because X, Y, and Z, and I think a way to fix them would be ABC, right? Like,
yeah. Oh, okay, say why.
Hey, Remix,
oh, yeah.
Shut up, nerd.
Right. Right.
Anyway, yeah, constructive criticism.
Yeah. It's a wonderful thing, but seriously, like, whether it's immediate after playing songs, or, in my opinion, more importantly, after you've given the songs some time with you. Yeah. Give us the feedback.
Criticize after you've put in your due diligence, please. Like,
yes.
Like, it's unless you think there's something that immediately jumps out that's so bad, which I don't think we did this time. I don't think this is going to be like, you know, sacrament. I don't think we're going to have that issue. Where there was something immediately obviously wrong. So yeah. Give it some time, let it cook, sit with it, see how good you can do at it if you're playing an Elite League. If you're not playing an Elite League, just enjoy it. Just enjoy it for what it is.
Yeah. Enjoy it for what it is. I know I'm going to have a fantastic time playing all of this. I'm going to have so much fun with this. So I hope competitors alongside me will have a good time with this.
And big shout outs for Chrome for fixing this graphic in record time. There's a slight typo on there that I don't think ever got noticed.
Man.
Shout out Chris Stoley.
Wow. but yeah, all the songs are on screen right there. This is just stacked, man. This is stacked. And I believe because
can I give I'm going to give a special shout out to Jeremy in particular. You see all those Jeremy charts? And you see all those CTH3 charts, which is Jeremy's set list. That's his baby, right? Like,
yeah.
Like, if we don't have that level of like difficulty type of set list, like we don't have material for this. We just don't. So yeah, I really do think like special shout outs need to be given. I mean, really to all the charters who provide their own like personal material. But yeah, I just, man, I love the charters here. You know, they willingly send us unreleased charts and they're like, hey, please put this in a tournament. And we're like, okay.
Yeah. Okay.
It's like, is it a good chart? Yeah. Okay.
All right, cool. Which again harks back to what Random was saying about we want more charts suited for tournament play. We want more. If you're a charter hearing this and you want to make charts, please find some material, chart away, we may just take you up on it. Seriously.
Yeah, no guarantees.
No
all right?
guarantees.
It's gotta be an actually like good chart and competitively viable. All right.
Yep.
It's gotta survive all the tests that we throw at it.
But it can't hurt. It can't hurt.
Yeah.
Okay.
The worst we can do is say no.
Exactly.
And that your chart is bad.
Okay, well that's worse.
And plus that's just me.
Plus
and
that's
Orange Hat
just
saying
mean.
that. That's just me and Orange Hat saying that your chart's bad.
Right. Okay. Well, I believe that concludes the set list reveal session today's.
It does. And
Which also means
at any moment we will be getting a Brad in the voice channel.
Yes.
Cough, cough.
Cough, cough. After an intermission. After an intermission. Cough, cough. After a minute. I did too. Oh. Okay. Well, anyway.
Hello, everyone. This is Brad. My room is still messy, Master. And welcome to the group reveal for the 2025 Elite League. I am here with Random. Random, how are you still doing? Hopefully well.
I think the Washington Commanders will go 0-17.
That is a statement. So, what we're gonna do today is something we've never done before. We have it is something, as with the set list, a little experimental. This is also experimental, but testing has gone pretty well, and we think it's going to be interesting. I cooked this up last night, and we are going to do a live group reveal where we have a mechanism that is going to do a live draft, if you will, completely random selection into each of the groups. So, Broadcast, if you could switch us to the mechanism, and I can showcase it.
While we do that, I'm going to give a quick rundown of exactly how things work. So as you see here, we have the top players in each of the groups. So previously, before Elite League had started and we were sending out invites, we kind of came up with a way of we had to hand rank everybody that we possibly thought to invite to Elite League. And so, based off that kind of internal ranking that we had, based off of how you did in the open tournament, if you didn't end up getting invited to Elite League, came through that, and then end up getting, placing well enough, to get that spot, whether it was through getting top 8 or the Elite League play-in from the top 12 players. We essentially ranked everybody and separated them into groups of 4 players. There's going to be 4 groups. And so 24 players, that gives you what we're calling 6 pots of 4 players. Now the top pot is fixed. We have the top 4 seeds that are listed on screen. So in Group A, we have Real Savage Jeff. In Group B, we have Jarvis and a 999. In Group C, we have Matriff. And in Group D, we have Skulljoke. Everything else after that will be randomized. And Sanic, you're technically right. It is rigged. But we did try to be as fair when rigging it as possible.
So, I'm going to do a demo to show you all exactly how this is going to work. So, here is our demo pot. So, we have Brad, Random, Chroma, and Furs. Now, I've heard Furs is really going to make a run this season. So, each of these buttons has been scripted to do different things. Randomize, as you would probably expect. Chat. It randomizes. So, I'm going to click it a few times. It's going to run the script. And as you can see, looking at the column where the names are, the names will start to shuffle around. So what we're going to do for each pot is we're going to click it a few times, get it really shuffled up, and then we're going to make the selection. So, what happens when you click on Group Selector A? It will select a name and move it over. So Furs is in Group A. Let's see who gets in Group B. Random ends up in Group B with Jarvis. Oh shit. Group C, I'm with Matriff. I'm absolutely screwed. And then Chroma, of course, would then be in Group D. So that is essentially how it works. Wanted to give this demonstration to just show you all. So I'll go ahead and clear those names. And now for the actual pot selection. So we're going to go ahead and paste in the first pot. So it's at pot B, so the first one after the top pot. And here are the names. Triss, Remix, Sanic Studios, and Josh. Random, thoughts on these players before we get them placed?
Do take with a grain of salt. If you're in a certain pot and you think, I should have been in a higher pot, we did all try to agree as a group of people, these were what we thought were best. In all honesty, like, you can make arguments like, oh, X player in pot C should have been in pot B, or X player in pot A should have been in pot B, or person in pot F should have been in pot, like, B or C or D, There's tons of arguments that could be made. We just basically had to come together with the fact that, like, there hasn't been an Elite League in 3 years, so we don't really have any, like, real relevant results to go off of other than, like, Open 4, Open 5, even Open, like, 3.
Yeah, it's one of those things where, because this is, newer structure, it's been a while since Elite League's been in, there's a little bit of variance. Sure, there are players who could have fit in potentially a different pot, but we felt, after looking at it as a team, as staff, that this was the just about the fairest placing of everybody in their respective pots. So now, let's go ahead and do a little randomizing here, just to shuffle up the names. Let the button do its work here. And that's good here. We will go ahead and select Group A. The first person going in will be Josh. Josh will be in with Jeff. All right, Group B. Static with Jarvis. Group C. Triss. And then, of course, Group D, Remix with Skulljoke. Here we are. That is the first pot sorted into their respective groups. Interesting, very interesting. The Triss and Matriff, that goes back. We got some, like, season 1 vibes going on. Same with Josh and Jeff. Jarvis and Sanic, that should be a pretty interesting rematch, or not rematch, but matchup. And then Skulljoke and Remix. That is, I'm not sure what
Swiss rematch. That's a Swiss rematch right there. CH Swiss.
Very nice.
Shout out T for T.
All right, the next pot. We have Finger Quick, Captain Mario, Atomic, and Hayquin. Oh boy, oh boy. Let's get them mixed up here a few times. All right, going into Group A, we have Hayquin. Group B, Atomic. Group C, Finger Quick. Oh, it was the randomizer has spoken. The random order that was selected is exactly what put him in. Interesting.
And that's a Finger Quick Matriff rematch there from Elite League 2. Yeah.
Yeah, this is straight Group C right now. It's just straight, like, Open 1 vibes. Very, very interesting.
It's the Boomer group.
The Boomer group. Yep. All right, moving along to the next group of competitors. Dark Wolf, D. Nelson, Deman, and Geo. Oh
So,
boy.
Of note here, the first 4 pots in most Elite League seasons would consist of previous Elite League players. But if there is, I don't know, some stupid head who drops out from Elite League beforehand, I don't know who would do that. The players who qualified from Open end up moving up. So you get to see Geo here moves up into pot D.
All right, let's get some randomization going here. Just shuffling them up. There we go. And Group A. Deman. Group B. Oh shit. Okay. Group C, Geo, and then of course Group D, Nelson. Oh my god. Atomic, Dark Wolf in the same. Are you kidding me? You kidding me right now? Wow.
Like I know there's like
Wow.
a demigod monopoly on the scene, but it would be so funny if we had Group B just be entirely demigods.
This is absolutely wild. Absolutely wild. All right, next pot, we have JD Smitty, Radrog, Birdie, and Wings of Speed. Very interesting stuff. There was definitely talks about the pots, really in particular, like D, E, and F, shifting around a few things. So the original pots that we had from this morning are different than the ones that you're seeing live, because we had some last minute discussions about a few things.
Yeah, basically it comes down to like we ended up settling on the fact that like we want the people qualifying from open, we want their pots determined by their open placement. So yeah.
All right,
If,
let's get some randomness going here. Trying to click around
sponsored by Random Days.
Trying to click around 5 or 6 different times just to really mix up the bucket here. All right, going into Group A, we have Birdie, Group B, Smitty, Group C, Wings of Speed, and Group D, of course, being Radrog. So right now, Group B still holding.
No, I think all four in the last pot are demigods, right? So we get Group B demigod sweep. Let's go.
Yeah, everybody here is a demigod. So yeah, Group B is just pure demigods. That's insane. Hey, the spreadsheet has spoken. But before we can, officiate it, we still have the final grouping here. As you'll notice, 3 of the 4 in here were play-in players. And yeah, let's see where these the final pot ends up going. Mix it up here a bit. The randomizer wanted to keep Firebird up there and sell 1 for a bit. All right, Group A, Ducky. Group B, Vark. Group C, Firebird. And then finally, Tolly in Group D. And that is it, folks. These are your Elite League groups. Oh my goodness. We've got some definite intrigue here. Do we have any real groups of death? I mean, there's a lot of talent that we have here, but I'm not sure if one particular group is just so much more like
I would say,
players.
I mean, I'm biased, but like not even for demigod reasons. I do think Group B might just, I don't know, because Group C, all of them look super scary. Like when you
there's a good bit of balance here, I think.
Because like I'm so used to like open tournaments where like your 5th and 6th seeds get like 80% on songs and whatever, because they're casual players just looking to have fun, have a tournament experience. But now with Elite League, where things get like everybody's got to lock in, everybody's taking it like super seriously at this point. Like if those are your 5th and 6th seeds, like it's rough. It's gonna be rough for anybody competing.
Yeah, I can definitely see some upsets coming in every group. I could definitely see it. Everybody's definitely got their work cut out for them. For me, the matches of intrigue in these individual groups, really, Atomic and Dark Wolf is for me the highlight. That one is going to be super interesting to see. But Madriff and Triss, that goes way back. I'm really excited to watch those two play. But those for me are the two right now, just off the top of my head, that I'm really excited to see.
The matchup of the so-called washed boomers.
All right, so that's your groups. I believe the only other thing we have left for this portion, there should be a graphic that will be coming up, and then
it takes a little bit when your broadcast is also the graphics maker.
Yep.
We can't quite parallelize that very easily.
And there'll be other things coming down the line. For example, the group within the challenge still, of course, needs to be created because we did this live.
Yeah.
Let me pull up chat.
I'm gonna. And there you have it.
Beautiful. There we are. There are your 2025 Elite League groups in a nice graphic form. And yeah, we're super excited for it. Outside of that, I believe there's a few things that need to be highlighted.
Okay, so I'm going to
Go ahead, Random.
yeah, just gonna mention real quick. So obviously you can see on stream when the group stage starts, when the group stage ends. Along with that, I'm going to answer a question I saw Wings asked. So yes, bottom 2 is relegated. Top 2 moves ahead to playoffs. 3rd and 4th keep their Elite League spot.
Yep.
So that's how it goes. That's how it's been. That's how it'll still go. Yeah, so July 26th, 1 p.m. Eastern. That is when group stage matches can officially begin. That'll be a week from today. About a month from now, we will release the playoff set list, and then a week after that, we're going to basically let the games begin.
Yep.
I'm excited,
All right.
Brad.
Oh yeah, this with the groups finally officially sorted, it's really interesting. I did a mock one that I shared with both Random and Atomic, and it doesn't look anything like what ended up being the official one. Like nothing even close. There were, I think, a few pairings that ended up being the same, but of course we mixed up pots and things of the sort. But it was completely different than what was done in the testing. And with the groups that we have now officially, oh yeah, I'm super excited for it. The gameplay that you all are going to see, that you've been used to seeing, it's going to be ramped up. For any of you that have not seen certain players play, like potentially Skulljoke, maybe Triss, maybe Matrif, you're in for a treat. Every player here is extraordinarily skilled, and you're going to see some absolute bangers of matchups. So with that said, we're going to go ahead and get stream concluded here. Thank you all so much. Of course, thank you to staff for doing what you're doing, the chart selection committee for getting out the incredible set list that you all saw. Random for being here for the entirety of the stream, and of course Atomic for being there for the play reveal broadcast. And yeah, thank you all. And one final thing, for anybody who's interested in reffing and casting and things of that sort, there will be more information coming for that. So be on the lookout for new information coming for that. Random, anything else?
Knock knock.
Who's there?
Not stream. Goodbye.